Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News at 12. We start off from Niger State, where the state government has commenced complete demolition of the collapsed building in Sabongari area of Minna, 7 days after the incident. The building, used as a warehouse, collapsed on Friday last week. Although no death was recorded, officials of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency said all 7 persons that were injured have been discharged from the hospital. The demolition is underway with a strong security presence to prevent interference from miscreants. The Niger State Urban Development Board stated that the delay in demolishing the building was due to faulty machinery. And elsewhere, the Nigerian Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the cause, magnitude, and possible effects of a massive explosion from crude oil pipelines close to the Gbareubie gas processing facility in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. The Senate resolution followed the consideration of a matter of urgent national importance moved by the Bayelsa Central lawmaker, Senator Friday Kombowe. National Assembly correspondent Sije Swadeoye has more.
Senator Friday, in his motion of urgent importance, calls the attention of the Senate to a recent explosion from a crude oil pipeline which has infused volumes of poisonous gas into the atmosphere and endangering lives and properties. The incident, which occurred close to a gas processing facility in Yenagoa, a huge source of foreign exchange earnings for Nigeria, has caused widespread panic and unrest among residents, with the cause yet to be determined. The lawmaker is seeking the urgent intervention of the Senate to look into the incident and call the attention of the federal government to curtail the environmental pollution and degradation which is already taking its toll on the health of people in the affected community.
Concerned also that the air in the vicinity has been heavily impregnated with impurities, which can cause difficulty in breathing, damage to the lungs, and high risk of asthma patients. Worried that the cause of the explosion is unknown, creating an atmosphere of suspense and uncertainty.
We'll have to conduct an inquiry, not the executive, because we don't believe that the executive understands the challenges that our people have been suffering all these years.
You cannot build a gas processing plant in an area where people are living, because one day it's almost like a tragedy waiting to happen.
The Senate resolved to set up an ad hoc committee that will carry out a thorough investigation and also urge the federal government to adopt measures that will protect the environment from further degradation and also preserve the large economic asset and eliminate any possible further threats. Sije Swadeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Now to electoral matters. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, has reassured the Forum of the State Independent Electoral Commission that INEC will continue to work to push the boundaries of electoral reform and also explore all avenues under the law to improve the conduct of local government elections in Nigeria. Senior political reporter Ademola Lawrence has details.
These are chairmen of state independent electoral commissions. They are here to meet the chairman of INEC to discuss how to better strengthen the electoral reforms in the country.
Great lofty heights are seen.
The commission chairman said it's a shared responsibility to ensure the conduct of credible and democratic elections in Nigeria. They discussed the challenges faced by the state electoral commissions in carrying out their mandates, and that INEC will encourage the forum in a genuine effort to foster partnership for credible elections in Nigeria.
Over the years, attempts were made to encourage the sides to maintain their independence. We signed an MOU under which assistance in the form of training, provision of some facilities, the institutionalization of the culture of planning.
Mr. Yakubu says, unfortunately, the conduct of local government elections in virtually all the states of the Federation has become mere coronation of candidates of the ruling parties.
It is time to stop the coronation and conduct proper elections. State governors should allow the state independent electoral commissions to have greater capacity for independent action. Many of the state electoral commissions have no functional offices in the local government areas in their states and cannot recruit their own permanent staff.
The forum in its submission acknowledges the impact of INEC but wants more partnership from the National Electoral Body.
We hereby register appreciation of INEC's support to the struggle of SEX towards financial independence. We strongly believe that our financial independence is not only achievable, but a sine qua non for various local government elections in Nigeria. FOSECON has again recently submitted a memorandum to the National Assembly Committee on Constitutional Amendments. We solicit INEC to throw its weight behind our quest for true independence.
For INEC, there must be determination on the part of FOSECON to do the needful. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
Stakeholders in electoral matters have been tasked to be more acquainted with the Electoral Act and guidelines of the Independent National Electoral Commission in order to educate the public and save the country from controversies and tension that come with electoral processes. This was the crux of discussion at a training by Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa of Media for traditional leaders, religious institutions, and legal practitioners on the Electoral Act. Olamide Adeyemi has more details.
Election cycles in Nigeria have been perceived as marred by poor organization, electoral issues. At this event, traditional leaders, representatives of religious institutions, bear the overwhelming desire for electoral reforms ahead of the next election.
When election comes, we rush in, and so the people are already waiting for you. Come and say your thing and leave. But now, this 2027 is far off, though there are off-cycle elections in Ondo and Edo. But between now and 2027, if we continue and intensify in this level of advocacy, and I see, even if we don't have a major shake-up, we are going to have a shift.
Look at the statistics. The 2023 elections was one of our best, if not the best. But over time, people have tried, to taint the credibility of that election. Democracy is a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. You also recognize that human activities brings about a lot of new developments, new challenges, and what have you. And the last 1 year, Mr. President has performed very well.
In view of pre-election, election day, and post-election issues, the need for every Nigerian to have the knowledge of the Electoral Act is pertinent. Also highlighted was the need for more participation of women in elections.
Subsection 2A and B of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended said that power belongs to the people, from whom through this constitution the government derives its power.
If you want to do anything, we start from home. So we'll try to guide our people rightly from their childhood, the children, to let them know the good in participating.
When people are talking, they themselves can take it upon themselves to go and read that what this man or that woman has said. Is it in consonance with what is in the Bible? So because our Electoral Act and the Constitution is the Bible of our democracy.
Electoral reforms are essential for maintaining and improving the health of a democracy. Olamide Adeyemi, TVC News, Lagos.
A group known as APC Youth Solidarity Network, a youth group within the governing All Progressives Congress, has raised concerns over attempts by people they described as dissatisfied members to destabilize the party ahead of the 2027 general election. This is coming as a response to the recent failed attempt to suspend the national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje. The national coordinator of the group, Danese Momo, urged President Bola Tinubu to take decisive action to stop enemies from bringing down the party.
With this Ganduje's outie, he formed our school of thought that without a godfather, you can be an elected officer. And with this, I think Ganduje need a commendation, not a criticism. Look at Odo primaries. Look look at what happens there. The likes of Jimoh Ibrahim Akko, those are the big names everybody was thinking. And Ganduje start this grant that go to defeat whosoever the good people of Odo people choose, that is where the party will swing.
To other matters, members of the House of Representatives Committee on Public Procurement have a date with the Ministry of Finance, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Ministry of Women Affairs, and that's over procurement fraud allegation. The lawmakers are probing the alleged 510 million naira to ghost contractors in the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs. The Ministry of Finance and others are to appear before the committee on the 30th of May. At an investigative hearing on the matter, the Ministry of Women Affairs insists the record provided by the Office of the Accountant General was incorrect.
Last time, the information given by the finance was wrong. They gave totally a wrong information. Some people that were expecting from the Accountant General office, some people that they said were owing 50 million, they came out with almost 80-something million or 90 million. There were a lot of discrepancies in what they sent, which we noticed and we took it to go and check.
Contract in question and also the payment details. Let this document be submitted between now and Monday next week so that on the 30th, all the parties involved will be able to testify before this committee.
The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoka-Anite, has supervised the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the ministry and UTEL Limited to connect Nigerians to foreign jobs in Kuwait, Gulf Cooperation Council, and Scandinavian countries, among others. The MOU was signed in Abuja and will be executed by the National Talent Export Program. According to the minister, this approach is for every Nigerian that is selected for a foreign job through NATEP to help connect an outsourced role to the Nigerian business process outsourcing ecosystem. The minister assured the partners that Nigeria is fully committed to upskilling its talent pool to power the industrial revitalization plan of the federal government and to also provide skilled citizens for global talent opportunities.
A lot of talent. Most of them will work here to support the industrial growth and the industrial revolution of the president himself. And some of them will be available to support other countries, either with direct talent export or with business process outsourced to Nigeria to support MSMEs. It is a confirmation of our ability